So today we will talk about how to reach more valuable leads with Meta CAPI for CRM integration. In just a few minutes, I will give a word to Heriberto from Meta and then from Stape. But first, so they will do a short introduction. But first, let me do a quick intro for you. So what will happen today? First, we will introduce you Meta CAPI for CRM integration, its benefits, impact on lead quality, lead generation, showcase real-world results, and some insights from industry reports. Then we'll have a live demo and show how to set up Meta CAPI for CRM. And of course, in the end, we will have a live Q&A session, so feel free to add your questions in this blog in Zoom. And of course, you will get the webinar recording, not right after the webinar, maybe a few days after. And also we will send you written guides on Meta CAPI for CRM. Yes, and everything that we will mention today in this session. Yes, we will send you as written guides. And now, yes, I'm done with my part. It's time to jump to the best part. And Heriberto, I give a word to you. So please share your screen and enjoy.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I think Dan's part is probably going to be the best part, but I'll open it up for him. So my name is Heriberto Salcedo. I am a product marketing manager here at Meta, where I support our Conversions API for CRM product, specifically the partnership ecosystem. So I'm going to walk you through sort of Conversions API for CRM as a whole. And then I'll toss it to Dan to walk you through some of the specifics on how this product lives within their platform. So just to kick us off, when you think about just lead generation, traffic and leads and quality leads are top of mind for businesses. When you think about sort of the complexities that exist today for lead-oriented businesses and having additional touch points, additional steps required to sort of move a potential customer to a converting customer. It's a lot different. It's a lot more complex than just sort of clicking a button to add a product to a cart. And having visibility on converting that capability and visibility into converting a potential customer is a lot more complex with platforms, regulations, and just the continuous complexities that marketers face today. And this is sort of where your first party data strategy really needs to be top of mind for businesses. It essentially puts you out front. And this is where Conversions API, specifically for CRM data, really sort of provides the value. And what essentially the TLDR for lead generation business is that for lead gen campaigns, connecting CRM data via the Conversions API essentially helps improve lead quality or intentionality, as I like to call it, while reducing cost. So what does it mean? So connecting your CRM with Meta Technologies through the Conversions API not only allows you to improve campaign performance, but it allows you to provide better targeting mechanisms for the future. One, it allows you to download leads from your campaigns across Meta Technologies to your CRM. But the real value is being able to share that customer knowledge back via your CRM system back to Meta Technologies so that your next campaign allows you to target your highest value prospects in future instant forms campaigns that now allow you to optimize for lead quality. So when you think about lead sort of campaigns, a lot of folks think about it from a quantity perspective. Let me get the most leads as possible. With Conversions API, utilizing your first party data, and in this case, CRM data, and sending that information back, you are now able to optimize for quality or intentionality. Now, before I dive in specifically, I want to talk about how we collect and use first-party data. And the TLDR here is that we use it in a very sort of safe and privacy-first way. It's a secure and reliable way for businesses like yourselves to share data back with us. We, Meta, do not share data sent via Conversions API with any third parties, including other advertisers, unless we are required to do so by law, or you, the business advisors, to do so or via your permission. So we take privacy very important and we put privacy first when it comes to utilizing your first party data for your campaign performance. So what is and how does CAPI for CRM integration works and what does it look like? This is sort of really visualizes it if you look at it from a left to right perspective. You have your potential customer, you run a lead generation campaign, in this case, instant form, and you essentially the call to action is to sign up for a free trial. That person signs up for a free trial or to get more information. That specific action goes to your CRM in terms of what that event was recorded as, whether that person signed up, a quote requested, a request for callback or an appointment booked. Without the connection to the conversions API, knowledge of how this customer moved throughout the sales journey or the conversion journey stops. We have no visibility into that. So whether that potential customer eventually converted or did not, only the business knows that. But with conversion API, you're able to send that CRM data, those CRM events back through Meta Technologies, which now gives us more visibility into that customer journey, how that person moved throughout the sales funnel. And with that information, your future campaigns can now run with conversion lead optimization goals or conversion lead performance goals for instant forms. And what essentially this means is you're able to reach leads that are more likely to take action because we basically learned how customers are moving throughout your sales funnel so that then your next sort of spend or your next dollar spent, we can make sure that those ads are in front of the people that are more likely to convert. So when you think about it in action, you have the ability to sort of look at your lead generation in two ways. One, if you look at your left, your lead performance goals, think of this as a volume play, maximizing the number of instant forms submitted. Think of this when you are curating an email list, you are looking at specific sort of more broad-based execution. But now with Convergence API for CRM integration, that now allows you to take impact on the conversion leads performance goals, which allows you to reach higher quality leads. So when you see here on the right, when you look at your ads manager and you're running your instant form campaigns, at the bottom, you'll see now you have two options. One, that maximize number of leads, which is the lead performance goal I've mentioned on the left. And now you have conversion lead performance goals, which puts that ad in front of leads or potential leads that are more likely to take action and more likely to convert because passing that data back via Conversions API, our systems are now able to learn on sort of your sales funnel, and we're able to optimize your future campaigns to reach more higher quality leads. Now, there are some prerequisites to make sure that you're a good fit for Conversions API. And when I mean good fit is essentially seeing the maximum impact for conversion lead optimization. One is currently is using lead ad campaigns with instant forms. And instant forms is think of it as our native form that preloads within our surfaces. It's a short form that allows you to capture information. One, two, it's a frictionless experience where customers don't need to sort of jump between different interfaces. When they see an ad, they see the ad, they can click and the form sort of opens up in the platform. They don't have to be redirected to another interface. And two, what's great about Instant Form is that you can pre-populate information that you're trying to capture with information that the potential customer or the potential lead has already shared with Meta. So again, really closing the gap from exposure to interest to conversion via Instant Forms. The second prerequisite is your sort of generate at least 200 leads per month. And this is just to make sure that we have enough data to determine which leads are more likely to become customers, right? We need to make sure that, we are, from a feasibility perspective, have enough data to make sort of inform our models and our optimization systems on your behalf. And just wanted to share with you some numbers of how we're seeing from an impact perspective and how businesses are seeing impact when connecting their CRM data through Conversions API is one, we've seen on average a 15% reduction in cost per quality lead when you compare to lead ads that are optimized for volume and a 44% increase in rate of converting a lead to a quality lead. So we're seeing a lot of impact when it comes to sort of not only conversion, but a reduction in cost overall, which is ultimately what you want. And when I sort of dive deeper into a specific business, take this European financial technology company. They've had a pretty simple business objective: attracting qualified new customers to sign up for financial service. They utilized instant forms with the conversion lead performance goal and had a conversions API for CRM integration. And what we've seen is 2x more signups generated by that lead optimization goal, and a 36% lower cost per sign up from conversion leads. So we're seeing businesses, specifically in different sectors, across various sectors, see performance. Take this other business, Moore's Garages. Again, similar, reach higher intent auto customers and drive sales. They took a similar media tactic, instant forms with the conversion lead performance goal, with the conversions API integration. 40% more qualified leads generated as a result of this integration, and a 29% lower cost per qualified lead. So again, the macro stat that we're sharing, we're seeing that manifest itself even higher when you go to specific clients. So how do I do it? You've heard the value proposition, you've heard sort of why it exists today and um, why this is out in market. You sort of have two paths from an integration perspective. You can build your own integration. We have development docs out there today, that you can just go out there and do it on your own. However, in terms of time or duration to build, it's I would say high. It does require technical resources, developmental resources, to build that integration. And what we essentially recommend is going through a partner like Stape, to build that integration. Basically, they've taken all the technical resources and the bandwidth required away, and they've already built and allow you to integrate in just a few steps and with a very sort of limited time, which is awesome, which Dan will walk you through. Our partner ecosystem, specifically Stape, sort of takes this integration and brings it into their platform and allows businesses to not have to worry about the resources needed to take advantage of this solution. And we've seen results. Partners can facilitate the CRM and data integration and lessens the lift, for lead generating businesses. We've seen that advertisers using lead ads typically see 53% more leads when adopting a partner when they try to do it on their own. So we're seeing that partners really allow businesses to move fast, but also remove any obstacles or any noise that may exist if someone's going at it on their own. Um, so now, I went through a few slides, sort of the overview. Now I'm going to pass it over to Dan, who's going to walk us through um, the CAPI CRM integrations, or the Conversions API integration, from a state perspective.
All right. Thanks for that. That's a wonderful introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Dan, as was announced. You may have seen me in the Q&A a little bit. Right. So what I'm going to show you today is pretty much how easy it is to integrate specifically the CRM reporting, assuming you already use the gateway functionality on Stape. And then if we have some spare time, we'll talk additional things. Let me just share my screen real quick. I'm gonna go and share this. So let me find my slide here, and let's do the slideshow. And let's close this thing. All right, so this is just a general overview, right? So why Meta Conversion API with Stape? The biggest reason is pretty much in the ease of integration. It literally takes maybe a minute, maybe a couple of minutes, depending on your internet speed, to connect your existing pixel to a gateway on Stape. There's also a free trial available, so there's no, apologies, spoilers. So there's no commitment at a start. There's 24/7 support, chat and tickets both, so they can help you if you have any issues. There's a ton of educational materials to kind of help you on that journey of connecting it and using it. And low maintenance cost, which is mentioned above, it's like 10 months per pixel, so it should be fairly easy for you to start. Now, the next slide here is that if you are running gateway on Stape, meaning your pixel is connected to a conversion API gateway, we've released a bunch of applications that make CRM integration into this whole situation very easy. And this is what I'm going to demonstrate shortly. Just to go through the list, we have high level, Zoho, PyDrive, HubSpot, Salesforce is currently in development. And I pretty much expect that in 2025, we're probably going to be releasing a bunch more to cover even more CRMs out there. So with that being said, I'm just switching to the live demo. So I'm gonna pause the slideshow and yeah. I'm going to show you the Stape account right now. This was pre-created. Like I said, we're not going to cover the gateway implementation itself. Anyone who has questions on that, there will be a link in the follow-up material, and we also have already a lot of recordings and videos on how you do that. So you can take a look at those. For the applications though, assuming I'm running a pixel already, which I do, I have this one here called CRM tests in my event manager. Let me do this 21st. There's some events that I've sent to it. We're gonna get back to it soon. Now, what I'm going to do from my Stape account where this pixel is connected, I'm just gonna pick a CRM to install an application. So I'm gonna hit high level today. Click this button. I'm gonna end up on their marketplace where the application is listed. Again, there's some links and materials right here. We're gonna go ahead and click install. Go high level will ask us for the account that we want to install it in. I'm going to do this demo webinar thing. And you will be presented with this screen, right? This is a single page application, pretty much. All of your settings reside within this page. And so we just need to go point by point and populate them. So the first input I'm going to do is obviously my dataset ID, which I'm going to copy from here, right? We can grab it right there. Just put it here. The conversion API gateway API key, that's a hefty naming. We go back to our Stape account and we grab this from here. Just copy it. Copy API key. Pull it here. Now, we want to select a field where our meta lead ID resides. In Go High Level, there's no native definition for such a field, so there's potentially some custom ones where you could have it. I have created one. You then decide which user data you're going to share with Meta. You have an ability to add more parameters here. On the left, you're pretty much choosing which data point you want to send. Let's say this will be a zip. To the right, you're choosing which fields in your CRM to pull that information from. So we've said pull zip from the postal code field, pull the Facebook click ID. Let's say from here, phone number and email are natively mapped to the standard fields. You can, of course, change that at any time. The last thing is in your configuration is to pretty much choose which events, which opportunity stages in your funnel, and we're going to look into that in Go High Level, you want to share with Meta. So you can select, let's say, status this, call it some sort of name, and the event name you're going to put here is what's going to be shared with Meta once your lead reaches a certain stage in your pipeline. So we can hit save and connect. With this, the configuration is done. And from now on, in the background, in your Go High Level account, let me just switch to the proper one. If we go to your opportunities, which is normally how leads are processed in the CRM, and go to pipelines, I think. Oh, here they are, right? So I have two pipelines. I have example pipeline. I have pipeline number 2. So when lead moves through these stages here, I don't have anyone here though. Jesus, one sir. Right, there's me, then Stape. I'm an opportunity, right? I have an email, I don't have a phone number, there's some parameters here. I could have a lead ID in my custom field here. So when this is moving through the stages, such as this, it went from initial lead, and by the name, the naming is generic. You obviously could have your own statuses here. When it moves through the funnel, each such change is recorded by the application and the corresponding event is sent to your metapixel. Like we're probably not going to see it in real time. The processing takes a little bit, but you can see my events from an hour ago, which I did in preparation to this webinar. There's a bunch landed in my data set, in my pixel. And of course, you can always go back to the settings. Just let me refresh this real quick. There's our application in the menu. Again, it's going to ask us to choose an account because we have multiple. And in here, I can play with it at any time, right? So you can add some additional data. You can say, I want to track more events. Or for the ease of implementation, you can just tick this checkbox and pretty much it will send all stages. If you do that, a little hint here suggests that the event name will be just a combination of your pipeline name and the stage name, because in this case, you're not controlling. You could have like, I don't know, dozens of events there. But the system also gives you an ability to ignore some if you don't want, let's say, I don't know, bad deals or anything similar that you have in your funnels. You could exclude them from this all stages situation. And if you do it like that, every single stage change in your pipeline will send an event to Meta. There's literally no other configuration for you to do. You just complete these settings once, like I showed you, and your CRM is connected. And I showed you Go High Level, but the other systems that we have listed operate in a very similar fashion. They have the single page settings. They work with objects that are relevant in that CRM, right? So it's opportunities in Go High Level, but it's like contacts in Zoho and it's leads in Salesforce, et cetera, et cetera. But this is all tailored to like normal lead flows in those CRMs. So this should cover your needs in full. And with that, I think we just can take some questions because that's pretty much it. Like I'm done. The applications are that simple. That was the whole point, to show you that. And yeah, happy to have some Q&A live. Trying to install Zoho app, but it looks unavailable. The reason you may have Zoho app is unavailable is because you're running probably a non-US account. Currently, the Zoho application is only available for US data centers. That's a Zoho limitation, which we're working to bypass. So if you're on a different region, just stand by. You will have it, I would say, in a couple of weeks. Anyone else? Here's one. What if I'm using meta lead forms and I'm using Go high level forms? Well, if you're using Go high level forms, then you're not automatically subject to participation in leads that specifically, right? Because those only work with Facebook lead forms. However, nobody's stopping you from reporting your conversions from your CRM in this case. You don't have to use specifically Facebook forms to utilize the applications, right? You can still deliver conversions to your pixel through this the whole situation that I just shown to you. So that is answered. Hi, could we view sample report from high level? Not sure what that is, but like you can reach out offline and I'll try to help you out. Okay, thank. Does this work with SGTM setups? So the server-side GTM support in this application is part of the roadmap. It will be released eventually. So yes, but not at the moment. At the moment, only the conversion API gateway. Okay, there's a lot of questions. Wow. After this gets set up with the CRM, is it possible to pass back retroactive data from past leads? Well, it is technically possible. However, it depends on that period, right? If they're old enough, they might never get attributed even though you reported them. So that's the only limitation under the hood. But technically, you can still send events, sure.
Yeah, and just to add to that, there's I believe, a 28-day attribution window from a CRM perspective.
Can we see the CRM events arriving in your Meta Events Manager? Well, like I said, it takes some time, but I can share my screen again and just show you the ones I sent like an hour ago. So here's the event manager. This is the test pixel that I shown to you, and there are my example event 1, 2, and 3 sent from Go High Level. You can see that only an email and phone number were sent because these are the default settings. I didn't play with them too much. The events that we just generated together with you by moving that opportunity stage will end up here in roughly 20 or so minutes. And that doesn't mean they don't get delivered in real time. That just means that it takes time for them to show up in your interface specifically. Okay, switching back to other questions. 1 sec, stop share, go to QA. All right, what is Zoho and which limitations outside US? Zoho is a CRM system and it has a lot of data centers. It's a global system. And so far, our application is only supported on US data centers, which means that your account on Zoho specifically should be registered under, as a United States account. But like I said to the previous question, we're going to release the support of that for other data centers as well. So that's answered. That is answered. Can we expect this for Zapier? Well, no, because this would kind of eliminate the need for you to use Zapier, right? It's a different kind of approach to this. I think in Zapier, you can already configure reporting of leads and pretty much any sort of conversion. But we definitely, from our side on Stape, don't plan to do anything Zapier-wise. Do you have a okay, must event for stages pipeline, or can you assign your lead or complete registration? You can assign event names, including the native event names, if you want to. That is available if you explicitly say, I'm sending these and these events. If you opt in for send all stages checkbox, the event names will be generated automatically. However, that shouldn't be a big limitation for you because ultimately Facebook side, you can use any event as, for your optimization and such, so long as you confirm that to be what you need. Why isn't match quality higher than 4.6? That seems very low. The match quality of 4.6 is dictated by the fact that I've only sent email and phone with my conversion events. If you remember the settings page, we could configure other user data. I just set a default set. This is why the match score is 4.6. If you add other stuff, especially things like the Facebook click ID, lead ID, and everything, the match score will be significantly higher. So this depends entirely on what sort of payload you can and are allowed to share with Meta. That is done. What are the important data points that we should enter in the CRM to make it optimized for Facebook? Let's say I have a profile links of customers, but I don't have their email and phone, which will still work with Facebook to gather customer data. Well, there's no way for you to send the profile fields and profile URLs, unfortunately. There's a parameter that is called Facebook login ID. Doesn't apply to you in this case. So ideally, you want to collect as much PII as possible because that's what's mainly responsible for, attributing and stitching to the customer. If you don't have those emails, you should at least look into getting like the click IDs, browser IDs, things like that. Done. By the way, I should say that as a part of a follow-up, we're also going to be going through all of those questions. So if something is not like answered right now, you can expect like a small Excel spreadsheet with answers to most popular questions as well as part of the follow-up. Sorry if I missed this, but can you work with custom CRMs or just big ones like HubSpot, etc.? Well, technically, you can still work with any CRM out there, assuming that CRM supports some sort of webhook functionality, but that would require some technical knowledge on your side to pull it off. The applications that were shown today are specifically built for the platform list that we described, and we're going to expand that list eventually. But custom CRM, you're probably just better off doing it customly as well. Again, you can reach out to Stape if you need any help with that. Can I make an appointment with someone from your team to walk me through the setting this up on my accounts? I want to make sure I do it correctly. You can absolutely do that. Just reach out through the website and either support or somebody will help you to an extent that they can. Okay, custom CRMs. I think we covered that already in Zapier as well. Does this work for automotive clients and their CRM like Vein Solutions? Again, we have not released anything for those specific CRMs. The principle still works, right? We don't have an infrastructure supporting that, such as an application or something. But the principle of reporting your CRM data to Meta still stands. So if you have in mind a project for those specific CRMs and you need any support, again, reach out to Stape. That's doable just with more effort that has been shown on this webinar. So from a data protection point of view, Stape does nothing with the data. They are simply a processor. We are simply a processor. Yes, you can look at data processing agreement in the footer of our website, which applies pretty much to every customer. But you're correct. We're not retaining any data. We're just passing it over to Meta without, retaining it, without logging it or anything like that. Is it possible to implement this using GTM? Yes, it is possible to implement it using GTM. You have two routes, the custom one, which we already described, which would require some tech knowledge from you, or you can wait a month or so and we'll eventually release SGTM support to the applications that I just demoed. The meta campaign must be configured with the lead's objective. How will it know that a certain action in the CRM continues the quality conversion for that lead? Well, first of all, you have some settings in your ads manager, right? What would be your conversions that you're using for optimization and such. Second is it will stitch it by the lead ID or the user information. So if you have reported a lead from your website, let's say, and it has my email, then it's Stape.io, and then your CRM reports a qualified lead with any event name, that doesn't really matter. With my email again, Meta will be able to tell that those two are the same person and this is something happening within the same funnel.
Yeah, and also when you're creating instant forms, you can look at you can map specific forms to certain specific campaigns. So if you're an ads manager, you can utilize our own templates or you can create your own. You'll essentially have a list of instant forms and you will map your CRM to those instant forms and based off your campaign, we'll be able to see where things are mapped. So when you're sending that data back, we'll have all that information and we'll be able to optimize accordingly.
Perfect, Herberto. Thank you for that. And the last one, can we create audiences in Meta using data from the CRM? Herberto, I'll let you answer that. I'm not quite sure. I think you can, right? Based
This
off the
use
conversion
case,
data?
in this use case, you'll have to use another product, something could be called lookalikes or audiences. The audiences API. It's a different product, but in theory, it allows you to do similar targeting where you can look at, if there's a specific CRM audience or cluster that you want to build an audience off of, you can use an audiences API, which is a separate product. We have public documentations out there now that allows you to sort of build an audience from that cluster. So think about it as using your CRM data for another use case.
All right. I answered the last one. Just to quickly recap that, is there any course on Stape that leads to step-by-step guide? We have an academy. There's an entire web course on how you can approach this. Also, we have like an endless stream of blog articles and such as to what you can do. How you can do this and everything. And then, like I said, worst case, you just reach out to our support. They will point you to the right direction. Is there a potential for freelancers to offer this as a service in the freelance market? Well, I mean, I guess why not? As anything else, like if you can sell it to a customer, then why not? Like you will just need a Stape account, access to their CRM, and you can install it all, and yeah, sky's the limit. Does this structure only work with Facebook leads or can implement it on any website form? Well, the structure that was shown to you today is only about reporting from CRM back to Meta. So assuming your website forms, non-Meta forms, end up in your CRM, rest of the process can be the same, so long as you have the data to share. So yes, it would work.
Also, if you want to take an alternative route with a similar approach, you can implement CAPI Convergence API for web and essentially utilize a similar event, what we call offsite, which is your own website, and you can collect information that way as well.
Do you see uplift in performance if you have less than 50 conversions per month? Again, Herberto, that's for you.
You do see uplift, but you won't see the maximum impact. It sort of goes back to the feasibility check for you to really see the maximum value, the 200 leads per month. But you can still use conversion lead optimization as a performance goal. You just won't see the most optimal lift in performance or the most optimal impact. So you're basically doing all of this work and not seeing all of the impact that it could have unless you're, meeting the recommended requirements.
All right. Can we pass back unqualified leads to help audience learning, or would it be best to just create lookalike audiences based on the exclusion list? Well, I can answer the first part. You can definitely pass it, whether that makes sense. Roberto will help me out.
Yeah, I think ultimately if you're passing those events back I think it just helps our optimization systems learn like how, customers are qualified or not. And then again, our models learn and then we can make sure that we're targeting the right leads. So yes, I think to Dan's point, send them.
Perfect. Which is more reliable, the system or by using Tag Manager? Well, that's not entirely a correct sort of question. Like the ultimate result, assuming you configured everything correctly in both cases, would be that, your CRM data ends up at Meta, which is what you're looking for. The difference is in the amount of effort needed. You'll probably need to do a bit more with SGTM just in general. The benefit potentially in some cases would be the general benefit of SGTM, which is you have explicit control over data. You're like in full control of what's going on, and you can, tweak it at any point in time. But the end result is the same. There's no difference in reliability. I would say the signal will still end up in Meta, assuming everything is correct. All right. 35 done. Do we have some more? Well, cool. I guess we can then wrap it up, right?
Mhm.
Guys, what do you think? Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I want to say thanks everyone for the attention. The amount of questions is terrific. Like it. If there's anything that wasn't covered here or you forgot to ask or whatever, reach out to us, reach out back to the follow-up email that you're going to get. Like
Mhm.
Nasta said, probably early next week, certainly not this week.
Yes, we will do our best to do it tomorrow, but latest Monday, yes, you will get it. So we want just
And
to write all the answers to your questions. Yes.
is there any free call available later? Well, I don't think so. We never planned anything like that. But like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and written to anyone at Stape and we'll help you out. Thanks. Great session. Thank you, Nancy. We appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, and now when we finish this Zoom session, you will be redirected to our survey. It's really super short survey, but we will appreciate your feedback. Yes. So thank you.
Thank you,
Perfect.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone. I'm going to be shutting this down. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.